Don't change that dial. It's time for your go-to source for all things entertainment and caffeinated. Now give it up and welcome to the stage, Eva and DJ!
I'm Eva Crowe, and this is the Inks and Lattes podcast, where we're spilling the ink and dishing out drinks. So DJ is not with us again this week. He will be back next week, but today I am joined once more by special guest co-host, CCC founder, Chris Corvan.
You guys can't tell right now, but I'm throwing my arms out in excitement. Yay, I'm here. We are both members of the Creative Coffee Cafe Discord network and community, an amazing place where creatives can come together, chill, bounce ideas, and get support from their fellow creatives. It is an awesome community, and I'm telling y'all, you need to come and check it out. It is so much fun. And now we're going to feature some work from our talented members. The biggest part of this showcase here is talking about the CCC Anthology. It is just amazing. I am so excited for this. So,
Yes.
Hear ye, the monsters are calling. The dead have their stories to tell. The old gods are rising. The forgotten world is crowding in. Are you brave enough to share their stories? Will you hold a candle to the pagan world and share with us those tales time should have forgotten?
A little bit of those acting chops in there. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
So, the Creative Coffee Cafe's debut anthology, Pagan Horrors of the Forgotten World, is open to submissions through the end of the year. Guidelines can be found on Instagram and Threads at The Grim Finn Smith and at Creative Coffee Cafe. So, storytellers, send your stories to members@creativecoffeecafe.com so that you can be a part of this amazing anthology that I am super stoked about. I'm going to try and submit as well.
You demo better. So the submission requirements have changed. It is 7,000 words to 40,000 words. So you can have your range of everything you want. And there are... It's worth checking out, especially if you've got a nice short story you've been thinking about finishing up. That's perfect for the horror theme. You want to get it in there. It is going to be so much fun. Finn is putting in a lot of effort and time into this, and I am so proud of everyone that is involved. Aster is going to be doing some of the artwork for it. It's just it's cool, guys. Come on.
And that's something I want to add real quick. You don't have to be a member of the cafe to join the anthology. You don't have to be a member of the Discord. Submit your work, get it out there, and we'll see what happens.
Exactly. And speaking of all of that, here are some other great things happening within the community. Aster at Aster's Mystic Bedhead has a shop on coffee. Check it out, Aster's Tiny Art, and snag your own adorable one-of-kind piece of Aster's tiny art.
I will never understand how she does that. They're so tiny. They're so perfect. I don't know how she does it. They're amazing.
I know.
And then Little Wolf Wyoming Designs has all kinds of beautiful tumblers, mugs, and stemless wine tumblers. They offer pre-made designs that are amazing, by the way. She just showed one on her Instagram, I believe, that is a horror-themed / tarot, and it looks amazing. You should check that out. Owner and creator Vicky has also put out her special dripping creativity tumbler that is incredible, and 15% of the sales on those do go back into the Creative Coffee Cafe. And then reminder, all links can be found in the description below.
All right, so now it is time for the topic of the week as I hit my microphone with a loud clang. This week's topic is horror flicks and why we love them.
Yes. I'm very excited for this.
Now, really, when it comes down to it, both of us are extremely horror-based people. From writing, reading, watching, horror is just kind of, it's in the blood. I mean, I've told this story before, but my father, in his infinite wisdom of teaching me filmmaking, had me watching The Exorcist and The Shining when I was 7 or 8.
Same.
And that's kind of the start of it. Now for the longest time, especially after that, I hated horror with a passion. I refused to watch anything scary just because I was a little wussy baby. You rebelled
against it.
Well, no, I was a little wussy baby. I'm a very emotional person. Okay, Eva, Like, that shit hits me hard, okay? And I would get very scared because I get very invested into the characters.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until later on, like around junior high school, where I started to actually get back into horror flicks, and then really fell in love with it. I mean, well, what grade was I? Grade 9 or 10 when Scream came out. And that kind of definitely reignited my just love of horror, and just off
Such
of
a
that
great
one,
franchise.
it was just like I swear by it to this day. I still watch it all the time. But it's kind of
I
one of those things that from that I learned how to really appreciate horror, and how to kind of separate myself from getting too invested and too scared, where, I'd be hiding behind the couch. Hell, I've said this before, one of the scariest moments in all of film, as like from me as a child, is the Never Ending Story with the wolf. Like, what's his name again there? Grog. Oh no. Close. Gamork.
Yes.
That entire scene, I would watch that movie daily at my grandma's house while she was babysitting me. I would watch it daily, and every time that scene would come up, I would hide behind the couch until it was gone, because that wolf's eyes and his voice and everything about him scared the ever-living shit out of me. Like, terrifying.
See, I love that, by the way. I love Never Ending Story, but for very different reasons. I also grew up watching horror at a very young age. My dad is a big horror fan. He kind of got me started on like Stephen King. That was one of the first, like my first introduction into a lot of horror. But also The Exorcist. Yeah. I remember watching The Exorcist at a very young age. And I remember my mom being like, "Oh my God, why did you let her watch that?" And he was like, "She's fine." And it's like, I just love horror. And to be clear, I am also a giant wussy baby. I get scared at horror. I'm not one of those people, because there's like two kinds of horror people. I feel like there's horror people that love the genre. They both love the genre, but there's the horror people that are like, they're not really scared by anything and they just enjoy horror. And then there's the other people like me who genuinely loves horror because I like being scared. I don't like it in real life. Don't scare me. I can't be held responsible for what I do when I'm afraid. So, like, don't ever jump out and scare me. I might punch you in the throat because it's fight or flight at that point. So don't scare me in real life. But horror movies are a safe way for me to enjoy being scared. And I'm trying to think of what movie as a child. Oh, since you have a kind of, I don't want to say it's a silly one that scared you as a child, because that's valid. That is valid. Mine was The People Under the Stairs. Scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. To this day, I don't like walking upstairs that are open on the bottom because I feel like people are going to reach out and grab my feet. I don't like it to this day. I do it. I don't like it. I tend to go up and down those steps a lot faster because I want to get it over with. Because of that movie. That movie freaked me out. And I watch it now and I'm like, that's not that scary. But it's still in the back of my mind. I'm like, that's scary. It's a scary movie.
Well, okay, so serious question here, because you are a gamer.
Mm-hmm.
What about horror games? Can you, do you play them?
No, dude.
Exactly. No. That's my point.
Here's
right
the problem. Here's the problem, right? Because I do also follow that category like you do of I'm scared. I don't. Okay, to be fair, I've never tried any horror stuff. I've thought about it. Some people have tried to get me to play Resident Evil. Some people have tried to get me to play Silent Hill. Oh, which Silent Hill will freak me out. I know it will, because I get scared when I play Skyrim, dude. Like, anytime I have to go underground in Skyrim, it takes me forever because I am creeping around because I'm afraid of what's around every corner. There's been times where I'm streaming, playing fucking like Mass Effect, and something pops out and I like scream in the stream. Like, Me
The one
streaming
quest
horror would
line.
be a nightmare.
Oh, that one quest line, Mass Effect 2, when you got to go into that one space station or the one derelict ship.
Oh, dude, don't talk about that one. So scary,
No,
dude.
no, no, not that one. It's the one with the AI.
Oh, yeah. See, that one doesn't freak me out.
Really? Oh, it's so good. It's so
No,
good.
not at all.
But
Not at all.
so,
You know what does freak me out though is the one where you're looking for the Krogan team that's gone missing in Mass Effect 3.
oh
And there's
yeah,
all the eggs. That one fucking creeps. I save it to the absolute last second because I hate it. I know what's coming. I still hate it. It's with like the Rachni Queen and shit. The Rachni isn't. Oh, they're so scary. But yeah, that's as much horror as I can do. I may try to play some horror games at some point, but I don't
I
know. I'm
I
very
would
scared.
highly suggest. Oh wow, it totally just well. Number one, Soma, because you do like sci-fi, so
I do.
Soma is a fantastic one because it's not like jump scare horror.
Hmm.
It's
That's good.
more atmospheric, and but very story heavy, very like a lot of reading and a lot of lore type thing. But a fantastic game, amazing game. But we're not here talking about games. Getting sidetracked here.
That was
We're
your
here
fault.
talking about yeah, it was
Oh,
100% my fault. 100% my fault there. We are
yes,
here
I will.
talking about horror movies, and since you had stuck me with going first last time, I'm going to make you go first this time.
Okay, for our pick of the week, we're going to talk about our favorite horror films that we want to recommend. Um, Mine, I talk about it. I've mentioned it a couple of times on threads, on horror threads that people have. My pick is Hereditary. Have
Damn
you
good
seen
movie.
Hereditary?
Oh yes, damn good movie.
Why is
Terrifying.
it so fucking scary, dude? Like,
Jesus.
there are very few films that actually stick with me after I've watched it. Like, I love all the horror. I love slasher films. I love the one I don't love, by the way, horror that I don't love is like torture horror. Don't care for it. I don't care for
Yeah.
it. Hostel. To me, it's not scary. It's just fucking gross. And like overkill, and I just don't care about it. Sorry, not sorry. But Hereditary chills me to the bone, and Toni Collette is probably the main reason why. She is horrifying in that film.
Oh,
She's
100%.
amazing, but terrifying. Like I I will never forget the first time. You know, like there's those movies that you watch it for the first time and you're like, fuck. Oh, and it kind of sticks with you to where like you got to go to the bathroom and you like run through the dark hallway or you like it's like in your head. So after you finish the movie, that movie for me was Hereditary. I watched it and I will never forget the first time I watched it because I had to go downstairs to get some water after I went down, after I watched it. Like it immediately ended and I was like, man, that movie fucked me up a little bit. And I was like thinking about it. I went downstairs to get a glass of water. And I have like a fluorescent light above my kitchen sink. And it's like an old ass fluorescent light, and I flipped it on and I'm getting water and I turn my back to go to the freezer to get like ice cubes. And as soon as I turn around, the fucking fluorescent light just flickers out. Just flickers out. No reason. It's never happened before or since. Just that one time. And I remember I froze in the middle of the kitchen and I went, no, 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 no. I just, I immediately like slammed the fridge shut, grabbed my water, and ran upstairs because I was so freaked out from that movie. And that has never happened before or since, where that light went off, and I was not prepared for it, and it fucked my whole night up because
Not
that
today,
movie
Satan.
messed me
Not
up.
today.
Literally was like, not today, devil. It's like when you watch a scary movie and you have to go pee, and you're like, don't look in the mirror. You're like, don't look in there, because that's like the classic horror thing, is people like the mirror shot, and you're like, something's gonna be there. So yeah,
Mirrors and
Hereditary
horror movies are never
literally
good.
Hereditary is just if you haven't seen it, it's 100% worth the watch. Chris, what's the director of that movie? Do you remember?
Off the top of my head, no, but we have the technology.
We can figure it out. I forget his name, but I just
Pulling it
want to
up.
state that I love him, that
Oh,
director.
yeah, Ari Aster. Ari Aster.
Yes. Okay. I love him as a director. I just think he is phenomenal. I know another movie that he did, Midsummer gets a lot of hate. I
Oh,
also love
no.
that movie.
That
Not nearly as
Midsommar,
much as
oh,
Hereditary, but
so good. Both of those ones are amazing for
right?
completely different reasons. Like Midsommar
Like
is
the
just
amount,
amazing.
yeah, like the way that guy creates tension is insane. It's the scariest kind of tension for me in Hereditary because it's very little like jump scares, to be honest. Like it's very little actual jump scares. Toni Collette is just horrifying, and you're like watching this family fucking fall apart. And like the whole, I also love anything with like a ritualistic cult kind of aspect. That is always very scary to me. That's one of those things that I just find terrifying because I know that that kind of stuff is out there, and that's always scarier to me, you know what I mean? Whether you believe in that kind of stuff or not, like ritualistic worship, stuff like that, whether you believe in it or not, there's people out there who do. And that to me is terrifying. So I think that's one of the reasons Hereditary is so fucking scary. But a big reason is Toni Collette. Like there's a specific scene in there, without any big spoilers. There's a specific scene in there where Toni Collette does something that literally haunts my dreams. I don't want to give it away because
Oh,
it's
which
very
part?
fucking
Oh,
scary.
are you talking like near the end part?
Yes, it's probably the part that you're thinking of. It's very scary to me. It's like a physical thing
Yeah.
that
Okay.
is
Yeah. Yeah.
happening, and it haunts my dreams.
We're
I'm
on the
not
same
even
page.
kidding.
Now, that being said, it's also a great reminder of why your parents always told you never to stick your feet or hands or anything outside of the car window.
Stop it. That girl, by the way, is a fantastic actor.
Oh,
Like the
amazing.
acting in that movie is
Oh,
amazing. Everyone is good in it. It's not just scary, it's tense. Like
oh
there's
yeah.
a dinner scene that makes my skin crawl because it's so tense. Like you could hear a pin drop watching that scene. And it's just so well done. I love Hereditary. So if you haven't seen it, put it on your watch list. It's 100% worth it. And if you don't like it, sorry, not sorry. It's
No,
great.
and Ari Aster is just an amazing writer director.
He really
Just
is.
the atmosphere alone that he
Mm,
creates is just it's rivaled by very like we're talking like old school Shyamalan style atmosphere.
yes.
And it's
Hmm.
just intense character interactions and moments, and just like the visual cues and visual emotional storytelling that
Yes.
happens is so on point that
Yes.
that just the love is there, and
Yeah.
it's
It's
terrifying.
more
Like,
than a horror film. It
oh,
honestly is more
100%.
than a horror film. Like there's so many scenes that it's just even the way that it's shot. Like it has such a like visceral reaction when you're watching it, and it's all the way that it's shot, and it's just so good. I'm gonna have to watch it again for Halloween. I'm gonna have to put it on my list to watch, which I think I'm gonna check real quick. I think it may be streaming right now on, let me see, mandatory streaming. See, we Google all the time on this show.
All the time.
Okay, yeah, I believe Hereditary is streaming on Hulu in the States at least. I can't speak
That's a
for
big
Canada.
thing. You got it, because here it's only available on Paramount Plus, which I'm not paying for. So
Lame.
right,
For
that's
all
what
the Americans out there, it is on Hulu.
and just as a complete side tangent, because it's me,
Hmm.
don't always buy physical copies. Always buy physical
Yes,
copies. Keep those physical copies,
agreed.
because the movies you love, the shows you love, can be pulled at
Hmm.
any time. And the only
Yep.
way to respect everyone that put their heart, blood, sweat, and tears into these things is to own the physical product. Even if you can get a DRM version of the digital copy to keep, do it, save
Yep.
it, pass it down to your kids, because trust me, there have been so many amazing shows lost to the annals of nobody watched it, so we pulled it off Netflix. It's
Yep.
just, it's the only way it's going to survive, man. Anyways,
For sure.
I think with that tangent aside, we'll move on to my pick here, which is definitely different than your pick, because you definitely went to that atmospheric psychological horror. I went more like fun horror with Ready or Not, released in 2019, directed by Matt Bertinelli Open and Tyler Gillette, written by Guy Busick and R. Christopher Murphy. The movie is amazing. Have you seen it?
Yes, I have. I just Googled it because I honestly couldn't remember.
You got Samara Weaving, Mark O'Brien, Adam Brody, Andy McDowell, Henry Cerny. It's just, this movie is a cast that cannot be beat. Everybody in here brings their A game, and it's not exactly the scariest thing. Some people might even say it's, I classify it as horror because it definitely is, but I can see arguments for it just being something else. I don't know what, but
I consider that horror as well, though.
It's a lot of blood. There's a whole concept of, hey, we got to kill. That's horror to me. So the story itself follows Grace, played by Samara Weaving, a newlywed who marries into a wealthy, eccentric Les Domas family known for their fortunes made through board games. On her wedding night, she is forced to play a deadly game of hide and seek where the stakes are life and death. What starts out as a fun tradition quickly turns into blood-soaked battle for survival as Grace realizes that her in-laws will stop at nothing to hunt her down before dawn. Now, the movie itself is just, it is so well written and directed and acted. It is one of the most fun I've had in a horror flick for a very long time. Like my other choice was going to be
I know what you're gonna say, I bet.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead.
Is it going to be Cabin in the Woods?
No, I did that would have been third or fourth. My actual other runner up was going to be Happy Death Day. Which if you have not seen, you need to see that one because that one is so good. But it's another one that kind of leans more into comedy horror, I guess would be a good way to put these ones, because it's not strictly horror.
Yeah, it's there like is a dark lot of comedy horror.
It's very dark comedy. But with Ready or Not here, it's like a satirical bite into the way the wealthy and privileged go against people that don't have it. And like Samara Weaving is one of the best horror actors out there, just in everything, with one of the best screams as well. Like her terrified, angry, pissed off scream is amazing. Like the movie has some of the best lines that I actually quote frequently. But the entire film itself, there, like the premise itself is very simple. It's hide and seek. That's really all it is. But it's done in such a great way that blends the intensity of the situation with enough humor to cover it and character development. Because like the characters in this movie, each one of them has their own amazing moments and character style that works so well for this, and all the way
Adam
through.
Adam Brody's a fucking creep in that movie,
but he's like it's. He actually has like one of the best character arcs in the entire film, and I love it.
Yeah, it is good.
I love it.
It is good.
And his wife in the film, who I always forget her name. I always forget her name. I am looking this one up right now because you don't see her in enough things, but she is absolutely amazing. Nope. Elise Levesque is absolutely fantastic as Charity. And Fitch, Christian Brun is just every person in this film is absolutely amazing, and it's such a small, tight cast that they work so well together because all of them are just like top of their game actors. Like Henry Czerny, like the father, is absolutely he just embodies patriarchal royalty
Yes.
in this film, and he carries it so well. Aunt Helene, the aunt, just every character in here I could rant about for so long. The actual story itself flows so nicely between the acts that you don't even realize where you are in the movie until you're close to the end. And the ending itself was perfectly done. Like, I know originally they had wanted one ending and they ended up going with a different one, and it ended up working out even better just because it is it was the best way to end a film, and especially this one. It's just it's just I love the movie. All right, let's go back to the actual script that I wrote out for this. So, Ready or Not kind of flips everything on the traditional horror tropes. Grace is not your typical damsel in distress. She doesn't run. Well, she does run, she does hide, but very much as a Samara Weaving character and all there, she fights back. Side tangent. Have you seen Mayhem yet?
No.
It has Samara Weaving and what's his name? Okay, well, that one you have to check out.
But I don't think so.
You need to check out that one. I mean, number one, the entire cast is fantastic. The story, it's great.
That one I have not seen.
You need to watch that one because it is amazing. The movie empowers her in a way that feels earned. It also avoids falling into the trap of becoming too predictable. Like there's enough little twists and stuff in it that it stays fresh all the way through.
It's one of those that makes you think you know what's happening and then you don't.
Exactly.
Which is always good.
It's a movie that, like, after the first time I watched it, like, I felt happy after watching it. Just like, this was such a good movie. I lost myself in the world. I lost myself in the characters, and it was just such a perfect film. Radio Silence, I believe that is the name that they go by. The directors there did such an amazing job. It's just hands down. I watch this one repeatedly throughout the year. Like, I'll watch it 3 or 4 times a year. Just because it's a great background movie too. And, you know, I'm a huge Samara Weaving fan. I always have been. Like, she's just amazing.
She is really great. She is. She's believable.
Completely. And she pulls off both, you know, I am a beautiful, perfect woman, but also extremely grounded and down to earth in almost everything. And with it, especially without getting too spoilery there, but you can see the hurt she's feeling. Like, it's not one of those usual, especially like late 90s, early 2000 films where it didn't matter how bad of a situation was, the female cast always seemed to look amazing.
Right.
You know, Samara Weaving is not afraid to get just down and dirty and just look like she got the shit kicked out of her, and she lives it. It's so good all the way through.
It is. It is a really great ending too. I love the ending of that movie.
Oh yeah. No, that's good. Ooh, Smile 2 is coming.
I did see that. There's quite a few that I've been wanting to watch. Speak No Evil with James McAvoy.
Yes, that one looks like it has the potential to be your atmospheric, just terrifying.
See, and that's like my jam. Yeah, like I like all horror. I like all of it. But that is my all-time favorite. It's like the tension-filled psychological thrillers, and like James McAvoy is fucking terrifying. Like when I saw him in Split, he's so good in Split. And then like, did you watch the trailer for Speak No Evil?
Oh yeah.
Oh dude, he's terrifying in it. Like when he does that like laugh and that like smile and then goes like deadpan serious, I'm like, nope, no sir.
He embodies like, you scared the living shit out of me, and I don't think he's even that tall. He's just really good at coming across like that. Like he got like ripped for that movie too. I saw like the trailer the other night and I was like, God damn, he's huge in this movie. He was huge in Split too, man.
Yeah, he really was. I love it when like people that you don't expect to do horror. I love that. This is probably one that people either love or hate. I'm a fan of it. I love the original Amityville Horror. That's one of my like OG movies that I used to watch as a kid with my dad. But I also love the Ryan Reynolds remake. He's weird in it, dude.
Oh,
I love seeing Ryan Reynolds as a creep.
oh yeah,
It's
no,
so
that's
good.
when you pull Ryan Reynolds out of his usual zone,
Yes.
the Van Wilder Reynolds,
Yeah.
he has
Oh,
amazing
I know
acting
him. Yeah.
chops. Like the dude can pull off quite a lot of things. It's just he
Mhm.
has a niche and he's really good at it. So why leave it? But well, it's kind of like even going back to which the movie itself sucked, and that was 23 with Jim Carrey. The movie
Oh, I have
was
very mixed feelings about that movie.
I
I
did not
love it
like
and I
that
hate
movie.
it.
I did not. It's
But like,
beyond too cliche, but Jim Carrey himself in it was very good.
yes,
Um,
agreed. And also weirdly hot as fuck in that movie.
you know what? I can see
That's
that.
a very
Oh,
weird,
oh,
unhinged thing of me to say, for me to say, but yes, I remember
what
watching
is
that
a
movie and being like, "Excuse me, Jim Carrey, what?" Because it is not the Jim Carrey we're used to. But I love it when actors do that, like especially with horror, because I feel like so many actors, like there's so many that steer away from horror. You know what I mean? Like there's like the people that are like known for horror acting, and then there's the people that kind of just do the occasional one. And when they step out of their comfort zone and do it, it is so good. I love
oh yeah.
it.
Well, even
Love
going
it.
back to 2002 with 1 Hour Photo and Robin Williams. Did you ever watch that one?
Mm, I have
Like,
seen that one.
oh my God, can Robin Williams pull that one off so well?
Yeah,
And
like
actually, it very much goes with like Nope and Get Out. It's like comedy people are amazing at
mhm,
horror because they understand
yes.
timing and emotion. Like if you
Hmm.
can master those, you can master horror as we've seen. Like
Yeah.
Nope, Get Out, like some of the best ever, and it just they're so good. And it's because you understand that concept of if you know what will make somebody laugh, you're gonna know
Yeah.
what's gonna make someone shit themselves.
Yeah. I love that shit. Like, did you ever see Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal?
Oh
Weird
yes,
fucking
that's
movie.
another one where
And he's such a creep in it.
such a creep. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, it's so many good movies, though. There's so many good movies. Just really quickly, I'm going to spout off some that I really love that I want to honorable mention before we wrap it up. I'm a big fan of like The Devil's Rejects. Big fan of Devil's
Mm,
Rejects. And House of a Thousand Corpses, but more so Devil's Rejects because that movie does something that House of a Thousand Corpses just doesn't do for me. And that's like when I watch Devil's Rejects, you almost find yourself forgetting that they're horrible fucking people. You almost like them. You know what I mean? Like there's that scene where they're eating ice cream and they do the like tutti fucking fruity. You almost forget. And then like the end when the tables are turned and like the cop has gone rogue and you're almost rooting for them. And then you're like, oh wait, they're fucking terrible. I forgot. Because they're kind of funny. And like it's such a good movie. Um, I'm trying to think of some other honorable mentions. Do you have any honorable mentions?
besides the ones that I've mentioned, off the top of my head, yeah, so many. I mean, so many. That's the best part about horror is it's very much a whatever your style is.
Hmm.
There's going to be a selection of movies there for you. Like, if you like the body horror,
Yes.
hell, Cell from way back in the day with Jennifer
Oh,
Lopez. Like,
Jennifer Lopez.
that movie was amazing.
It's a
I loved
wild movie,
it.
dude.
It was so
That's a
good.
wild one.
Like, that
And
one with
again, someone who like stepped out and did horror when you wouldn't expect it.
that one with Halle Berry. Why can't I think of the name?
Gothica.
Yes, thank you.
I
Like
love
that's another
Gothica.
fan.
That's a great
Hell, you
movie.
know what? Even to some extent, Sucker Punch could technically be horror if they changed up just a little bit.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, I
the
can see
entire
that.
premise of that, some of the shit that happens in that's pretty horrific. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. One of my OG original favorite horror films, and people either love it or hate it, again, The Blair Witch Project. I
Oh,
will
you gotta love the
never
Bear. You gotta
not go
love
to
the Blair
bat for The
Witch.
Blair Witch Project. I
100%.
love that fucking
100%.
movie. It's hilarious. And I'm convinced that the reason people don't like Blair Witch is because they were duped into thinking it was real when it came out. That's like the first OG found footage
Oh
that I
yes.
recall. And
No,
like, I
it
mean,
was
they
for
had,
sure.
yeah, like they fucking like made those people like, didn't they like go into hiding like temporarily so that people thought they were dead? Like
Yeah,
they were like out of the public eye and shit.
they had contracts that they signed saying like they had to like not be around for that specific. It's
Yes.
also one of the first movies to actually incorporate an ARG element, an alternate reality game, with their website, because the website was presented as
Yes.
real and it had a whole bunch of additional lore and stories within it that really add more context to the Blair Witch. Like the Blair Witch is without a doubt one of the premier movies any filmmaker needs to watch and understand.
Yeah,
Just
for sure.
because of how they did it, what they accomplished with such a little budget. Now, the only downside is
Oh no.
the the what why can't I remember her name now? The main what's
Heather.
her name? No, the actual actress.
No, I don't know her name.
See, that's what I'm
Forget
saying.
her real name.
But she got harassed so much of that movie that she actually, Ray Hance, she actually like left show business. Like she never did another movie after
Oh,
that.
really?
It like, yeah, it was very hard on her all the way through. Like people were bullying the hell out of her because of that flick.
That is insanity.
Well, I mean, like number one, just think of the most parodied part of that film, and it's
Yep.
her,
Yep.
right?
hmm And she's a
And
phenomenal actress.
phenomenal,
Like,
like absolutely amazing. Like she's doing some cool stuff now. Like I think she's got a podcast and she does a whole bunch of advocate stuff. But
by the way,
yeah,
her real
no,
name is Heather Donahue.
it
That's her real name.
no, it's Ray Hance.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear you even say that. How about I just looked it up on Google and it's like cast Heather Donahue, and I just believed it. I
Yeah, no,
literally just said
that's
it.
the
It's like, oh,
character. That's the
right.
character. But yeah, no, did she actually end up doing some more stuff? She might have done some more stuff. Well, she tried later on, yeah, and then she quit 2000. Anyways,
Yeah, that's a shame though, because she's
it
excellent.
is like absolutely fantastic actor. But there are so many good movies out there that do so many amazing and unique things. And there's some really shitty ones too. So if you love just watching something that should not exist, I mean, I'm going to throw Sharknado in there because I hate that series with a passion.
I don't like
But
anything like that. That's like the one thing I don't like is shit like that.
but they did something amazing with that series, and you know what?
hmm
I can't hate on it for that. I just don't like the movies.
Yeah, they're just not for me. Like those kind of movies are just not for me. I have a very fine line of like comedy horror and like weird. I don't know if you guys can hear that train that's in the background because I live right next to a train track. So sorry if you can hear that. But um yeah, it's just I don't know. I don't get into those movies. It's a very fine line for me between horror and comedy, and it has to blend perfectly for me to be into it. Like
Well,
sometimes it'll kill it for me if it's too comedy, if that makes sense. It just has to
no,
be done well. Like I love Cabin in the Woods.
yeah,
Love it. And that's perfect. That's the perfect blend. But yeah, that's a weird like I even struggled with Chucky for a long time. I struggled with Chucky for a very long time. I was like, it's a fucking doll, kill it. Like I can't. And I know Chucky is beloved. I know that. But I think I watched Chucky too late in life and it ruined it for me. Had I watched it when I was younger, I probably would have like more of a love for it. But I never fully got behind Chucky. But, it is what it is. We all have those movies
oh yeah,
that
for
we just
sure.
don't
I
really
mean,
love, that everyone else seems to love.
I
Chucky's
think
mine.
I think with Chucky, it's like the actual history of the making of Chucky and everything
Yeah.
behind that is absolutely fascinating and well worth getting into because there's so much behind the scenes stuff that happens, and yeah, no, it's fascinating the journey that series and that character alone kind of has gone through. I mean, like there's a reason
hmm
why it stopped being called Child's Play and then became called Chucky,
Right.
right?
Right.
Like there's a specific reason behind the scenes about all that stuff, and it's very interesting. And just
I should give it another try. I should give it a fair try.
It's well worth going down the journey because it goes very weird and very strange, and then gets really good. Like the actual.
That's how I feel about like the Hellraiser films too. I love the Hellraiser films, but they're weird as fuck.
Hellraiser is another weird ass one.
Like the first one's barely scary. But I do love them. So.
But all right, I think we should wrap this one up. What do you think there, Eva?
Yeah, I think that we're about out of time.
Excellent. All right, so we are going to wrap up this week's episode of Inks and Lattes. Hopefully, DJ will be back next week. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We're going to wrap this up, this week's episode of Inks and Lattes. Thank you so much for hanging with us. They will be here every Wednesday as part of the Dripping Creativity community. Don't forget to check out the Dripping Creativity podcast hosted by me, Chris Corvan. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already.
And if you guys want more information about the Creative Coffee Cafe and how you can get involved, visit the website, creativecoffeecafe.com, for more info, and the sign-up form for the Discord can be found there as well. You should absolutely join the Discord. It's fantastic. We have great times in there. And then lastly, if you have news or projects that you want to share, send it over to submit@creativecoffeecafe.com. And if we can, we will get it on the next episode. So thank you guys for tuning into Inks and Lattes, where we are spilling the ink and dishing out drinks. Later.
Bye.